Hey, I'm a Pokemon master. What you looking at? Let's go. Hello people, today is July 12, 2016, day 194 of the 365 vlog, and I'm going to talk more about Pokemon Go. I've been playing this game for a couple of days now, right? And I'm pretty immersed into this game. I love it. I play it every time I go outside. And one of the things I wanted the core part of this video to talk about is the socialization aspect of this game. What I find interesting about this game is the fact that it allows people to break barriers in terms of accessing conversation with random people by joining them together through a game. Normally people you pass on the street, now you actually interact with them sometimes to talk to them, maybe if you see that they're playing the game or not, but it gives like an easy access way for people to start talking. One of the interesting results I think of this whole, I guess, social experiment, I'm gonna call it, which is maybe an actual one, I don't know, but is that you can discern, like, just from Pokemon, like the levels in which people like other things that are associated with nerd culture. It's really interesting when you start getting into convos with people and you just start talking to them and you figure out, besides Pokemon, you guys have more in common than you thought, and even more. And you wouldn't have known this had this game not been there, maybe. Maybe a convention might do it, but definitely it makes people more sociable. I think also though, in its own right, it is a bit creepy because everyone is playing this game. So everyone's like, to some degree, a zombie. The way they operate with this game, they walk in hives, they all go to certain points and congregate. I mean, if you ever thought about it, it does seem like a zombie movie. Nonetheless, it's been like a really positive experience, even though I've heard a lot of crazy stories about how people have found dead bodies or people have gotten injured in certain ways. I mean, that's just people who just need to take better care when playing this game and not to be so fully immersed in it. I think some added peripherals in the future would be great, like a Google Glass version of this, so you're playing the game but you can see where you're walking as well. I don't know if that multitasking actually makes sense or if it'll be safe in the long run, but it would be cool to not have to keep taking out your phone or looking at it every 10 seconds. But it's really crazy to the point how all of this has like really just brought out a lot of people's, I guess, inner nerd, inner geek, whatever you want to call it, and just how people can talk about it so openly and freely when people before were chastised. I'm not saying I was, but maybe some people were, that they liked Pokemon and it was a kid's game and all this, and now it's taken over and now everyone's playing it. It brings me back to a video I made not too long ago talking about fandoms and talking about the point that the people who get exposed to things that normally wouldn't get exposed to them. For example, let's say Pokemon was only known by like 5 people, right? And they all knew it, but everyone thought it was stupid. But then when like a whole million people all got into it, or just knew about it, they all got into it. Now, does that make them any less fans? Do they know any less, or are they just going with the fad? I think in this case, it's a mix of a lot of that. Like, people are going with the fad, people definitely know about Pokemon. It's interesting though. It's kind of hard to discern who actually is playing Pokemon, but there are certain people that I can, for a lack of a better word, stereotype to know that they're actually playing the game. It's just a certain demeanor and you know what it is. It's not negative, it's just you can tell this person's probably most likely definitely playing Pokemon, where other people may be less overt to actually playing Pokemon in that moment, which is kind of interesting. But back to the point of, I don't know if it's necessarily a good or bad thing that all these people are being exposed to Pokemon. Now that everyone knows about it and it's more interactive, maybe it'll give them a different mindset on how to view Pokemon, or what people really enjoy about it and what they can get out of it too, and just everyone really loving this game. Honestly, if you told me when I was a kid that something like this would happen, I would never believe you. We're all walking around with Pokedexes and trying to fill them up. It's amazing in its own right, and it's really fun for the most part, outside of like the crazy fandoms for each of the guilds or whatever, but nonetheless, it's still a fun game and I may continue playing it. Yeah guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my little rant about fandoms, talking about whether people really are into the game or not, and just talking about exposing all the geek nerd culture into the world. And if you made it to the end, don't hesitate to hit the like button, and also if it's your first time seeing my face, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button because I make new videos when you see them. So tell me guys, what has been your experience socializing with the Pokemon Go? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Yo, it had to rhyme. So yeah guys, I'm Vandal. Don't forget to keep it 365 and I will talk to you next time with another video. Peace. Bye. The main point is that when I'm thinking about like post-undergrad is that a lot of things get upgraded as the years go on because schools get bigger budgets, they get more students, they get more funding, they get all these nice things, especially Hunter.